Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
We are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Report. And once again, we have the Tony and Barnes Show. Anthony, how are you, my friends?
Pretty good, dude. A little bright in here, huh, today?
Yeah, the lights are very bright.
Yeah, they are bright.
Kind of like they were at Yankee Stadium last night.
Oh.
Great evening once again. And, we'll get to a full recap in a second, but let's just say I moved to 4-0 when visiting the comfy Yankees win. Confines, whatever.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yankee Stadium.
That's good.
And all close games, really, besides, I think, the first one, because the previous two were walk-offs, and then, the first one, they just pounded the Orioles. But, yeah, just a great night, and, I just love what they've done, in the area. There's a lot of good places to go before the game, between Billy's and Stan's. And both have a nice outdoor area. I feel like that's very big.
Nice.
If it's all crowded in the indoor thing, I'm not really feeling that, but if you could be outside, feel the sun, and Billy's is just huge.
I said word. Ain't never told no lie.
We were talking about my rap album earlier. But I'm sorry. I feel like I asked you this before, but I forgot. Have you been to Billy's or Stan's?
No.
Or no? Okay.
Never.
Okay. And then because I know they've made some changes recently. Is there some bars around city now or no?
Not really, dude.
But I know Cohen has his eye on buying some property and trying to
he's gonna be buying up some real estate, which is great because the area, isn't really phenomenal, I guess, so it's pretty crowded. There's a couple, I guess, bars, but I mean it's nothing you really want to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I just, I've kind of said all this stuff before. It's just I feel like it just is it's such a moneymaker, first of all, being right there. Everybody's going to go there. And then especially because everybody wants, before the game, because we know in the game, you have some stuff you like. I know you at the Mets game, you like getting Shake Shack or what? I mean, or the steak and cheese.
Shake Shack is good. There's a cheesesteak stand with the filet too.
Mm-hmm.
There's a pizzeria. You can grab some nice Sicilian slices in there. They have some good food. Some nice ice cream too. You get in the helmet. Love that, dude.
Not oat ice cream?
No, it's not made with oat milk, made with whole milk cream.
Can you believe that, though? It just for everybody, I was talking to Tony before the show. So me and my friend, we just see a sign, ice cream, asked for some vanilla ice cream, didn't inspect the machine or whatever. Oat ice cream, literally the worst ice cream I've ever seen in my whole life. And I know Michael would never eat such a thing, and I believe he's chiming in.
He says you look like a movie star.
Oh, Michael, I owe all the credit to you. All right, thank you very much.
All the credit to you.
Because whose glasses are these, by the way?
Manny's, technically.
Oh, Manny. Okay. So I hope. Thank you, Manny, though.
Manny Banuelos.
Loaning the glasses. But tell me, it's just Tony, they got to have a big sign about that because no one wants to eat that. Am I wrong? The average person does not want any part of that.
I would say the average person.
Ice cream is garbage.
It is
Michael
garbage.
knows it.
I mean, oat milk is garbage in general. It tastes like grass to me. But I mean, it is very popular nowadays. These alternatives to whole milk. But Brian, is there a chance that maybe you may have missed the sign?
Potentially, but all I can say is it wasn't with flashing lights.
Yeah,
okay?
They should have it. Yeah.
And also, and I've said this many times too, and I know Michael agrees with me. It's just with these, you're mentioning alternatives. It's I'm sorry, but I would just rather not have it than have the alternative. I don't understand why the alternatives are so popular. And on top of that, I feel like a lot of them, they're branded as alternatives, but they're not even good for you.
No, they're not. Almond milk is one, and it's incredibly. Not only is it harmful to the environment to make almond milk, because it takes so much water to grow almonds. But it's also obviously there's lots of sugar in it. It's really not that much better for you than a whole milk or even skim or whatever you want. And it's it's really annoying because I'm a big whole milk guy. Michael does agree exactly. And it is kind of a shame that whole milk nowadays gets a bad rap.
Yeah. And I don't know. And also I just with milk in general, I feel like I don't like I eat stuff that has milk in it, but I just have no need to drink a glass of milk.
Oh, we've seen your coffees though, basically milk.
Yeah, but honestly, that was just more. I'm telling you, like,
Yeah.
I guess you don't really ever get coffee where you are like filling up the cream yourself out of a machine, right? Because they already just make it for you.
Yeah, never. Yeah.
So that's the thing. It just the only reason I don't like it like that. It's just like you press it, and then all of a sudden
Right.
the thing's very milky.
Oh gosh, dude.
What type of coffee are you having right now?
So I have the donut in coffee here. Michael brought it to me. Shout out to Michael. This is our usual, which is the French vanilla roast, light and sweet with almond milk.
Speaking of,
I enjoy almond milk.
And one other thing, before we get into baseball here, right? This just came across, I guess, earlier this morning. And Michael, if you're still with us, bud, sorry about the hot one, Tony.
One could argue it is iced coffee season. Brian does it all year long. That's okay. But I enjoy a hot coffee still. It's okay, Mike.
And
good hot coffee.
One thing too, before I get to what I was going to get into, is it just me or like does hot coffee like make you sweat?
It's funny you bring that up because Michael has this theory. I forget who kind of brought him onto it, but he thinks that like hot tea or hot coffee actually lowers your body temperature. I don't know. I don't think it affects me that much. I mean, it's pretty hot in here in general. Michael also says, Brian looks like a movie star. I can't get over it. LOL. That's a vibe for you, Tony.
Wait, what is he talking about? It's a vibe for you.
It's a vibe. I don't know. He wants me to look like a movie star.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought he was referring to the coffee.
And then in terms of the hot coffee cooling you down, ancient ways,
look it up.
LOL. Wow, dude.
But I also feel like for me, and possibly you as well, Tony, I just feel like it's like we don't apply to the average person just because of how easy we'll start sweating. You know what I mean? So like that might be true. But I just think,
dude,
we're like that.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It sucks. It's so hot in here right now. Isn't it hot?
Yeah, no, it is. It is.
Like, what's going on?
No, dude? But I always say it too, like especially spring too, summer, even part of fall. I just need constant ventilation, or otherwise I'm hot.
Yeah, literally.
I can't have no airflow.
I know it's stagnant in here, Brian.
But I appreciate the vibes, Michael. But yeah, I guess I just saw this today. I'm sure you probably saw it earlier. But the Knicks, traded Nerlens, Burks to the Pistons. And I guess they're talking about, this clearing cap space for Jalen Brunson. And, I was listening to the morning show on FAN, and they're still kind of talking about, Donovan Mitchell. And I guess he posted some song about like, let me go. And I'm just curious. And I know we've talked about this just, I think even yesterday, but a lot of stuff about Brunson, that's what ESPN.com says.
Michael's not happy about it.
If he goes to the Knicks, I might be out.
Wow. Back to the Bulls, Michael.
Why though? I mean, you feel like to put that amount of money, you're not getting what you're paying for? Is that the problem?
Yeah. When I've talked to him yesterday about it.
He's talking about Brunson, not Mitchell. So he's in for Mitchell,
Brunson.
But he just doesn't want to, I think, get rid of Brunson is overrated.
What did they say? 100 mil for 4 years was what he's looking for?
Yeah. Well, and I said this to him too. He would be great, Tony, if he was like joining the Lakers, joining the Nets, but going to the Knicks and being like they're like 1B is like way too much. He's starred in a 6-man role, a backup role, not as a co-star. Just don't want to dump everything for him. Like, no, I mean, it's true. It's true. So kind of interesting. I'm sure, we'll have some more stuff come out, but I just think we're going to see definitely a changing landscape, in the NBA for sure. But we will keep you guys all posted with that. But it's our favorite time, Tony. Let's go to the world of Major League Baseball.
2-2. He got him swinging. The back-to-back strikeouts for Robbie Ray.
There's damage right there. Shohei. Way. Cy Young. Nada. Where did that land?
Stuck to Chapman, who leaps up and grabs it.
Story spins and fires. Out at first. There it goes. See ya. Home run, Aaron Judge.
Some more comments from Michael. 25 million a year for 100,
4 years.
4 years for Brunson. A joke.
He's right. He's right.
Is that really what he wants?
I'm sure. And honestly, I swear to God, the way because I feel like a lot of times when you don't closely like think about something, I feel like we're caught in the mindset of where, okay, so a guy that is a borderline starter, a role player, he's highly paid. Oh, he makes, $12-13 million a year. And it's just like, we forget that the top, stars of the league are making almost $50 million. So
Right.
$25 million is a mediocre starter. And it's just crazy that we've reached that point when we think about salaries in other leagues, especially like hockey, for instance. I mean, the best Connor McDavid can't even sniff $25 million.
Oh my God, a year? Hell no, dude.
So I just thought, that was interesting. So, on to baseball here. And of course, we'll start with the Yankees, me being there last night, and it just, what a night. The turnout was very good. I'm curious actually what we had, in terms of the attendance, but pretty full. It just seems like if there ever is like kind of, and also it could be people just moving around, but like the upper deck, way upper, there's definitely some holes there, but I'm just curious. What's your guess, Tony? I'm going to say for me, I'm going to go 36,000. What do you think? Maximum I think is 47.
47. I would go 39 and change.
39 and change.
We got a call though. Hold on 1 second.
38,051.
Hey, you're 38,051. Let's go, baby. All right.
Is this Michael
We have
Theodore?
a call. You are live on the Sports Board. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I just want to say I love the show, and I think once and for all, Brian, we put the Eddie Mush to rest for you, bud. 4-0 going to the Yankees games. Let's go, Yankees!
Oh gosh,
that is what it's all about, and I think we've really come to that determination. I don't even think it's even a conversation at this point anymore. Am I wrong, Tony?
Yeah, I guess so.
So, but
no, yeah, there's not necessarily a much going on.
And listen, I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything, but I just feel like 38,000 people. That's not even like a great crowd for the Yankees, and they're having that on a Tuesday night against Oakland, who's 25 games under 500.
Oakland
that just
would
shows
kill to have 38,000,
but they can't even get a third of that.
I know, it's
which
ridiculous.
is pathetic, and it makes. I definitely have to say. I mean, obviously, everybody at some point or another somewhat chooses their team. I mean, obviously, you're kind of born into it in a way. But I almost feel bad for those fans, especially like the real loyal fans that have been A's fans all their life. Like, it's just like, I would feel so defeated watching games with no one in the stands. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I could see that.
And like, do you care about it that much? Like, if you see a Mets game, let's just say it's a random, Wednesday afternoon game and, half full or something, does that bother you at all?
A little bit, Brian, I would say. I don't know. I would say going to those Mets games where there's not a lot of fanage. The people that are there though are those kind of the lifelong Mets fans. So it's good. Like, it may not be quantity, but it's quality fans there. And I'll use the Yankees as an example because whether you like it or not, Brian, I feel like being a Yankee fan, especially to people around our area, tri-state area, it's kind of cool. It's the cool thing to do. I'll go to the Yankee Stadium. My dad got tickets, whatever, dude. So you can go to a Yankee game and you see some of these fans, and they're not even watching the game. They're just like dicking around, whatever. So I don't know. I feel like you can kind of take it both ways because I'm sure in Oakland, maybe there's not, well, obviously there's not a lot of people in the stadium, but I mean, I'm sure they're really good fans. I'm sure they're it's a good community still. So I mean, I think there's upsides and downsides to it, but yeah, sometimes I'm at a Mets game and there's like just a shit ton of empty seats. I'm thinking to myself like, and it's even a good game or whatever.
Right.
They're playing the Phillies or
the Astros,
and it's just like, you go to the stands, like, wow, like people should be here, and it is a little, I would say, diminishing. And I could only imagine that it's probably a little diminishing to the players as well. But yeah, dude.
And it's funny too. Like, I really like this too. Like, I just don't like things being wasted in general. And actually, just before I get to that,
Michael,
have them come to CT
Oakland. That is stadium in Stamford, fired up. We were talking about this yesterday, actually, Mike and I.
I mean, why not, Tony? The A's, like, you can't just give us that.
I don't know. You want the Stanford A's, dude?
Astute observation, Michael. Astute, absolutely astute. But like with food, for instance, Like I hate wasting food. You just feel bad. It's like good food. Like why is it, I don't want to throw away half of this. Like what the heck? And it's like I feel the thing that really gets me, and I'm sure you see this too with the Mets games as well. Like at Yankee Stadium, sometimes the Legends seats, they're corporate owned, and no one goes.
Yeah,
and it's
no,
like,
it's brutal.
Why can't you sell those seats for $100 a piece? Like you could say, oh, you paid $500, but it's like you're getting nothing out of it. So why not get something? Why not make somebody's day?
I would give them away, dude.
Yeah.
If I was that corporation, I already paid for it. No one's gonna go. Can't find anyone. Just give them away.
It's just people are like stubborn and just I guess
it's
they
bullshit,
don't care about
They do that at MSG too. It's the same deal, bro. All those seats behind the bench or the penalty box or the goalie, they're all corporate seats, dude. They never get filled.
And one other thing, just as a comparison, I'm just curious. I just looked it up, so I'm out of guessing. But the Mets attendance last night.
I don't know. From watching the game, it actually looked pretty full. I don't know. What do they fit? Like 44,000 around there? I would say capping it off maybe like 40 and change, 41 and change.
36,673.
No.
Yeah.
According to who?
MLB app. I mean, those are usually pretty accurate figures.
Pretty accurate, dude. Let's see.
But
dude.
honestly, I swear to God, I know like the Astros are one of the best teams in the league, but I think that's actually a good figure for during the week.
No, that is
Mets
pretty
because
good.
they have a lot of like 25,000, 27,000 nights. So you think about that's an extra 9,000 fans. I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at. So I always just did you kind of do that too? Like I periodically for all sports look up like attendance rankings just to kind of see what's going on, or you're not
No, sometimes because dude, especially like when I'm watching hockey too, and I'm looking at how you think, oh wow, Tampa Bay or Anaheim, places where people are like, oh, why are they playing hockey there? And they actually end up having good fan bases and attendances and stuff like that. It's interesting stuff.
Yeah.
And then you'll get the Rays over there having a tough time for their seats, dude.
And I always you do notice, and I know obviously some stuff people just say, but I do notice, especially with like the Yankees and the Rangers, for instance, as well, and I'm sure to some degree the Mets, like the players do seem to like when they retire, leave the team, like go out of their way to thank the fans and show their appreciation. Do you feel like in terms of like impact on performance that goes a long way? I mean, how much of an impact do you feel like the crowd being behind you gives you that adrenaline to, succeed at the highest level?
I would say it plays a pretty big part, Brian, especially because, most recently, you could say for the Rangers, when the Garden started getting more fired up during the playoffs, I mean, they were playing better hockey, especially for the young guys, and they talk about it too, when you skate into that ice and you feel the whole stadium just rocking, the people roaring, cheering for you. I mean, that gives you that kind of extra oomph in your level of play. And then, we also see the downside and how, if the fans kind of turn against you, how that could affect the player as well. We've seen that with Lindor and Baez last year and kind of what happened with the Mets. So, I mean, I would say it takes, especially in New York, dude. I mean, New York has one of the greatest fan bases in the world for sports. Certainly one of the most loyal, large fan base as well. I mean, it definitely plays a big role. And, Lindor even talked about it coming over from Cleveland. The fans here are different. So yeah, I'd expect it to totally affect your level of play.
Yeah. I could see like, oh, there's 5,000 people here. I don't even care. I just want to get out of here.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure that's what they feel like. But then when you have like you're up, you could walk it off with a home run and the crowd's going nuts. Everybody's on their feet. I mean, how does that not fire you up?
Oh my God, I know. Especially like we see at NFL games all the time when the stadium is people are so loud.
Yeah,
you cannot hear.
Yeah, the opposing court, they have to call a timeout.
They have to call a timeout, dude. Like that's gotta mess with you a little bit, dude.
So and then so I just thought that was interesting. But back to the game last night, the Yankees did win 2-1. The runs scored early. You look at the first inning on a Trevino single. There was 2 outs, so Donaldson's running. Donaldson might be one of the slowest people that's not really fat that I've ever seen. I mean, maybe he just doesn't run all out, but he is so slow. So he gets hosed at the plate, but they get the one run. And then we move on to the second. Marwin Gonzalez, a towering shot to right, almost 400 feet. Everybody in the stadium knew it off the bat. So that was nice to see. He hasn't contributed too much with that. As Matthew says hello, Barnes
Checks
with
in
the
with the
shades.
Yes, Brian.
So other than that, though, as far as offense was concerned, we didn't really have too much. I mean, Stanton had the night off, Glaber dealing with some injuries, but due to the pitching, once again, they just did not need it. And if you look at, the guys who entered the game yesterday, Sears falls 1 out short of a quality start, but dominated the A's. Only 1 strikeout. I mean, you don't really see that over 5 2/3 too much, but only 1 walk, 3 hits. So I was pretty impressed with the way that, the way that he pitched. I mean, I thought, to get through almost 6 innings, a guy that's just kind of coming in to eat some innings, and he was, of course, an option down after the game, 78 pitches. And I just feel like they have so many options, but it's hard to say after his first 2 starts of his career in the major leagues that JP Sears doesn't possibly have a future in this Yankee rotation.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't watch the game, but from what I saw, I saw some highlights. I mean, he throws some good pitches, dude. His location was on it. It seems like he knows what to do against certain batters too. And, I mean, after what, Tyone got scratched
Not Tyone. No, it was Tyone, but it wasn't
right?
scratched. They just
give him extra day rest.
Extra day rest. He got hammered last time.
Yeah. So, I mean, to have him kind of come in and even on a little bit of short notice and to come in and be successful, I mean, that's exactly what you want out of like a young pitcher like that, dude. Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. So from the left side too, I mean, you can never have too much left-handed pitching.
Right.
And then, Marinaccio continued his great run. Only 1 batter he faced, but he did strike him out. And then you had Peralta for 2/3 of an inning, and Michael King continuing his dominating run. 1 1/3, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, 1 hit allowed. So he gets the hold, and then Clay Holmes in the 9th. He did give up 2 hits, but they also called a catcher's interference when the game seemed over, which ended up leading to a run, having the A's have a runner in scoring position. But of course, he did induce, with that sinker, ground out to end the game. Yankees win. I go to 4-0, and the Yankees go to 55-20. Winning 55 of their first 75 games. I mean, I just never saw this coming. And listen, I know recently, especially if you consider the Astros series with the bats, hitting has been light at times. But I was just saying this to someone from work this morning. It's like, if you're a great team when you could not be playing your best, hitting your best, pitching your best. Obviously, pitching, was great
still
this
good,
game.
Yeah.
But the fact that you still win, I just think that shows how good of a team you really are. When you're not on your A game, but you're winning games. What's the counterpoint there, Anthony?
I mean, look who you're playing, though.
But
every
year,
I know, I do know, I know.
Avalanche beating the Kraken beating the Avalanche.
Dude, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It mattered. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying, Kraken beating the Avalanche is totally fine. Okay,
it's fine.
But I'm just saying, if this, if this was a better team, maybe you would have won this game. So take it, pump the brakes a little bit over there with, okay. We'll see, dude.
At the end of the day, 55.
Yeah. So win is a win, but, just whoa, okay?
Whoa. Afternoon game today we'll get to in a second. We mentioned Tyone. He's going to get the start, but 105, as they go for the sweep. But before we touch on that, and also just a standings update, with their win yesterday, Blue Jays still 12.5 behind the Yankees. Sox fall to 13 games, Rays at 14 games behind the Yankees in 4th place. Who could have seen that coming?
I know.
But that being said, Tony, you predicted it. Talk to me about the shellacking at Citi Field yesterday, courtesy of the Houston Astros.
That's correct, dude. So, I mean, I didn't really predict it to be this bad. I forget what the score was, but it definitely wasn't 9-1. The one I predicted.
Yes.
I think it was maybe like 6-3 or something. But the Mets fall 9-1 to the Astros, and Carlos Carrasco was on the mound last night, and he actually pitched last week against them when we had the 2-game stint in Houston, and that was when he went like 2 1/3 left because of back tightness, got shellacked for like 3 or 4 earned runs, whatever it was. And you know what, dude? He did exactly, besides getting, leaving due to injury, he went 4 1/3, 6 earned runs, 3 walks, only 4 Ks. And it was pretty immediate. I think Astros scored 4 runs in the first. I mean, you know, the Astros are good at hitting the off-speed ball, which is obviously what Carrasco is throwing a lot nowadays. But I mean, I feel like he was just a little too timid. You know, in the first inning, he was trying to pitch around Altuve, who hasn't been batting very well.
Mm-hmm.
And he ends up walking him, getting him on base. And it's like, dude, like just, you know, like throw the ball in the strike, like throw a strike, you know, like at least do that, like attack him as a batter. Hasn't been batting well. Like you should be able to kind of attack him, get the strike out there. And just literally from there, I mean, I think it was, I don't know, maybe Gurriel hit like a single, 2-man run. Bregman, I think maybe had a home run. I forget who had the home run in the first. No, Bregman single, Tucker. Yeah, Tucker
Kyle
homered.
Tucker, yep.
And it was honestly just like a clinic almost from there for the Astros. Carrasco, you know, like I said, 4 1/3 didn't last long. Shreve went in there. He got shellacked as well. I mean, he was just leaving balls over the middle of the plate. You can't do that. Gurriel homered off of him, I think. Alvarez hit his 4th home run against the Mets. I think his 8th home run this month. He's obviously been on absolute fire. I mean, Jesus, he has 4 home runs against the Mets in 3 games. Like, that's crazy. And then, you know, on top of that, you had Valdez for the Astros pitching, I think, his 11th consecutive quality start. You know, he was having batters strike out left and right. I don't know how many strikeouts he had on the day, but I mean, he was obviously, you know, clearly tough to hit. Oh, he only had 5 Ks, but still, he was, you know, making them hit a lot. I think he had 3 double plays behind him. I mean,
that's how you get through 8 innings with 97 pitches.
Exactly. So he was pitching super well, and it's honestly, it was a little surprising to me how good the Astros middle infield is. Perez is really good at short. Obviously, Altuve had a few nice diving catches at second, rather. So they had, even though the Mets, I think, had like 8 hits, I want to say, on the day, they were 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. And I think maybe that's a little bit of a, I guess the Astros kind of pointed out a little bit of a flaw in terms of the Mets strategy. You know, when you go down 4-0, especially that early, you know, it's pretty demeaning. You need someone like the next inning or two to just crank a home run, you know, get some juices flowing. And unfortunately, you know, I talked about their strategy of getting men on base and bringing runners in who are in scoring position. You know, with the Astros, just how good their middle infield is, it was really hard to hit balls past them, you know, extremely hard, actually. So that's why the 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position, a lot of ground outs. It's tough to kind of squeak your way back from there when, you know, you're having 2 men on and you're trying to get something going, and all of a sudden they turn double play on you end of the inning, and that's even more diminishing to your kind of spirit of the game. And you really, like, that next inning, if you're down 4-0, you need someone to just crank a home run and to get some momentum going in their favor. Of course, you know, obviously it's not necessarily, you know, their fault for not hitting a home run or anything, but, you know, I mean, your pitching really failed you yesterday. I mean, Jesus, dude, letting up 9 runs is you know, that can't happen, especially to the Astros, you know. And they're obviously, you know, you talk about Jordan and Gurriel and Bregman, you know, they've been batting pretty well. But I mean, this is a team that's beatable, certainly beatable. But yeah, it was definitely a tough loss. You know, not many good takeaways. I guess really the only good takeaway is probably Marte, who's been batting like over 300 for the month of June. He had some nice, couple of good hits. I think he went. Actually, I forget his line, but it doesn't matter, dude. There was one play. I think it was in the first. I think it was Bregman's hit. To the outfield. It was kind of a line drive, but I kind of expected, you know, Marte to kind of lay out for it, and he didn't. And I understand, you know, he's a little bit older, but he had the speed to get there. I feel like he could have laid out for it and possibly caught it, got an out, maybe limited that first inning to only 2 runs instead of 4, which obviously makes it a little bit of a different story. But it's tough, dude. When Alvarez is, you know, reaching base 5 times. I think he went 3 for 3 with 2 walks too. I mean, you know, it's tough to kind of get around him for sure. So chalk it up to a loss. It's tough, dude.
Yeah, and you know, with 3 for 4 yesterday for Marte, so that brings his average to 284.
Yeah.
7 homers, 36 RBIs with a 780 OPS. Steals, I believe he has 13, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, I mean, I just think that you know, he's important for them, and it's interesting too. His average is at 284, but he's hitting 330 at home. So for whatever reason, hitting way better at home
Must
than
be
on
the
the road.
fans.
Could be. Now I know I asked you this before the show, before we were on, but being that this loss drops them to 5-5 over their last 10 games, lead, which I believe was at double digits maybe at one point a month or so ago, is down to 4. We know the Braves are playing well, Phillies have been inconsistent. Any cause for concern? Because I think this is really, they've been very consistent all season, and it seems like this is kind of the first tough stretch. Not that it's that tough that they're 3-7 in their last 10, but just that you don't have that overconfident feeling.
I mean, a little bit, I suppose. I mean, I feel like we've been teetering with 4 games ahead of the Braves for probably the whole month, I want to say, honestly. So, I mean, it's been good that we've been able to kind of keep them, at that kind of 4-game difference. But I will say, tonight we have Taijuan Walker pitching. I mean, he's been pitching obviously considerably better and more consistent than Cookie Carrasco over there. And then, towards the end of the month, we're going to be getting some relief the next week or 2 or so from Scherzer, from DeGrom. So hopefully, once they kind of are back, we won't be giving up 9 runs a game. So I'm not totally worried about it. It's obviously on my mind, but no, I'm not, I have confidence in Scherzer and DeGrom coming back that will kind of, not only limit the amount of runs other teams are scoring on us, but it's going to heighten the level of play for everyone else. People are going to be pumped up at their back. The fans, the players, everyone. Buck. It's going to be a better Met team once they kind of come back.
Yeah,
dude, for sure.
And I mean, I know, nobody has a crystal ball, but do you feel, just based on the strong play of Atlanta recently, that this is going to be a division that's going to go down to the final week or 2?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
And obviously, it'll be interesting to see what moves are made, from both teams really in terms of trades. So I mean, other than that, I'd say, in terms of the schedule tonight, we do, I believe, actually, let me just double check this. I think we should have enough for 4 apiece.
3, 6, 9.
Yeah, so we're good.
Oh my God, it's like 15 games.
Okay, yeah. So we'll go 4 apiece. And then to update the standings from Thursday and from yesterday. So I'm at 21-13, and you are at 19-15. So once again, very close. We only got about a week or so, a little more than a week left for Sakara. So I know we're all looking forward to that.
I do enjoy Sakara.
But just, very interested to see where you go to start here in terms of your picks for today.
Oh, really, dude?
Because I know it's not going to be against Justin Verlander. It might
be
for Justin Verlander.
No, I don't know, dude. All right, so bang. I'm gonna go to Toronto. Do you know why, Brian?
Love the way they've been playing.
I love the way they've been playing. They've been on a home winning streak, and they're at home against the Red Sox. Alex Manoah's on the mound.
Alex Manoah. Mark the timestamp, Tony. Absolute legend.
Manoah.
Future Hall of Famer. Okay? Alec Manoah. Future New York Yankee. People have called him Alec before. Come on.
Yeah, no, it's Alec. It's good.
Yeah.
Against Nick Pivetta, and I feel like Boston has actually been doing pretty well. I feel like for the lack of pitching they've had,
due to cool off.
Definitely due to cool off. Toronto's hot at home right now. Alex Manoah, I'm gonna give you a line here: 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 9 Ks. Toronto wins this 4-2.
There we go. The run continues for the Blue Jays. Just kind of curious, before I started going nuts about Manoah, what was did you know much about him, or I kind of really brought him on the scene for you?
I want to say it was last season when he made his debut against the Yankees, was it not? And he pitched really well.
Yeah.
Pitched like 6 innings, family in the stands. Yeah, dude.
So, I mean, you've always kind of been high on him.
Yeah, definitely. Especially, have a good start against the Yankees. You're my buddy.
You know who's not going to have a good start against the Yankees? Cole Irvin, 105 from the stadium here, opposed by Jamison Tyone, 8-1, 3.19. Irvin, 2-5, 3.29. And I just think this is one of those things where, listen, the A's have the record that they have for a reason, 26 games under 500. Of course, you could say, the Yankees have been kind of inconsistent the past week or so offensively, but you feel like this sets up to be a game where, they really want to kind of set a tone here and, put some runs on the board early. And I think a guy like Irvin, who doesn't throw 98, I think they'll be all over that fastball. And the Yankees kind of have that weird game in Houston tomorrow. So some people might say, oh, it's a look ahead spot. They got a busy schedule the next couple of days. Not really paying too much attention to this game, but I would say not so fast. I think the Yankees this year just have that mindset, and I know after Houston, then they got to go to Cleveland, so it is a lot of travel, but I just think they have that mindset that every game is just as important as the previous one. And I think they're going to show that today. And I think Tyone, after getting hammered his last start, will pull a 6 inning, 6 strikeouts, maybe 1 earned run, 3 hits, 1 walk. And the Yankees are going to win this one 9-2. And I think we're going to see Judge leave the building, as well as Stanton, after a well-deserved day off yesterday. I think he's due to hit another home run, and maybe Rizzo wants to get in the mix too. Why not? But Yankees as they sweep the Oakland A's.
All right, dude. Sweep the Oakland A's. Sorry. All right, so we're gonna go to LA again. Did I pick the White Sox last night?
You did not. It was the last Thursday.
Oh, okay. Anyway. So tonight, Shohei Ohtani on the mound for LA against Michael Kopech for Chicago. Kopech's been pretty good, dude.
His name sounds familiar. Where did he come from?
I don't know, Brian. Do you know?
Something about a Chris Sale trade a couple years ago with Yoan Moncada.
Oh, wow, dude. Anyway, I'm looking at this kind of lineup here, and I'm thinking to myself, I know, obviously, Shohei on the mound. Vegas has LA to win for sure. But I don't know, dude. With the way the White Sox have been hitting, they beat LA last night. I think they lost to them 2 nights ago, just 4-3, though. And I understand, Shohei's been pretty good, but I feel like he gives up a nice dinger every so often. And, Kopech, 2.59 ERA. Only 4 home runs in the season. He does walk a lot, but I think Kopech's gonna come out pretty hot here. Give me Kopech. He lasts, 6 2/3, maybe 2 earned runs, 5 Ks, 2 walks. And then Shohei maybe gets a little shellacked, you have Abreu, Lewis Robert, I think cranked a home run last night. I'd say give me the White Sox here winning at 6-4.
I like it.
Yeah.
Angel's just a mess right now.
So
for my second selection, and I know, it always seems like a jab at the Mets, but I got to go with Houston. I mean, Justin Verlander.
No, Mr. Poo-Poo.
Is looking like a reincarnation of Nolan Ryan, who pitched very well into his mid to late 40s.
For the Mets.
At one point or another. And I just feel like, how are the Mets gonna hit Verlander today? I mean, I cannot see it. Other than, I guess, Alonso maybe hitting like 3 home runs and then Walker, shutting out the Astros. But
even so, he's gonna be pitching like Valdez did yesterday.
Exactly,
it's gonna be tough.
It is gonna be tough, and I think it's gonna be a game where Verlander might go 8 innings and strike out 14. And I think that it's going to be a 5-0 victory, and Alvarez will go deep yet again.
Whatever, dude. No, I wanted you to pick the Mets. I wanted you to pick the Astros, excuse me, because the Mets are going to win tonight, and you're going to have a loss in your column. It's going to be great.
You want to bet like a sandwich on this, or
a sandwich? You want to get a side bet? You want a little side
Gaetano's.
action? Gaetano sandwich?
Gaetano's sandwich within the next week.
Okay.
Done?
Done.
All right, let's go.
I want odds, though. I get chips with my sandwich.
I'll give you a drink, too.
Done
deal.
Dude. Done
we
deal.
Heard it here first.
Yes, with the odds. Love it, dude. All right. My next pick, we're going to go into St. Louis. I know the Cardinals obviously been, playing
nice
really
win
well
last night against the Marlins.
I know, really nice win. However, Sandy Alcantara.
Great. Future Met or Yankee? Almost maybe a Met. I don't know.
I don't know, dude. It's tough.
Knows the division.
Yeah, he does. I feel like he would really, but the chances I feel like of the Mets getting him.
Oh, because they won't want to trade
No
with the Mets,
way,
and they've
dude.
traded with the Yankees before. So
Yeah.
hey, I mean, whoever wants to join the squad, we welcome talent, Tony.
Of course. Man, this is going to be honestly a tough pick here. I know they beat them 9-0. I think a couple nights ago, 5-3 last night.
They're down where they were, not to interrupt, but they were actually down 3-0. Came back. Really impressed with the Cardinals lately.
Yeah, and of course, Miami also took 2 out of 3 from the Mets too. So I guess I'll go with Miami for the sweep here. Yeah, give me Sandy. I'll say he'll go 7 1/3, maybe, giving up 2 runs, 9 Ks for him, 1 walk off of 4 hits. And I'll say Miami takes this one. I'll keep it tight, 3-2.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Alcantara, definitely one of the better younger pitchers in the league. I'm going to go to this Dodger Rockies game. And I don't know if you've seen, but the Dodgers, after I mentioned, losing that opening series, 2 games to 1, they've lost the first 2 games of this series. And then also, Freddie Freeman, a lot has come out about, he just fired his agent. He's talking about how he didn't like the free agent process, and he's alluding to the fact that he wishes he was still in Atlanta. He said that there's not closure, and I just don't understand. As Jay's in the
checking
mix.
in, dude. Brian, too cool for school with the shades, dude.
Appreciate it, bud. But I just think that is a problem. It is concerning, but I don't know. I don't think there's really an answer. I mean, what are the Dodgers going to trade Freeman for Olsen?
No way, dude.
But I mean, I also too. I mean, tell me I'm wrong about this, but I can't remember the last time somebody signed or was traded to the Dodgers and didn't like it there.
I know. Well, I don't think it's that he doesn't like the Dodgers.
Misses the Braves.
He misses the Braves. He was crying at the press conference after he came back to Atlanta to play them. I mean, it is so crazy. And I feel it came out a little bit of left field, but yeah, now he's, self-represented in terms of, who his manager is. And he clearly wanted to stick around with the Braves, but it seems like who was his manager, do you know?
No.
But it seems like his manager. I don't think it was.
Okay.
But it seems like his manager almost pushed him to leave Atlanta.
Right.
And put him in a tough spot, I mean,
but I know, and I know you pay
dude.
those people to take care of these things, but I don't know, man. Like, tell me I'm wrong, but if I'm a player, at the end of the day, I'll take all their advice they're going to give me, but I'm not going to go somewhere that I don't want to go. That's like saying, like, Cano, because he was actually one of Jay-Z's clients, that he had no choice. He had to go to Seattle. He wouldn't let him go. That's not true. The player signs off on the final decision.
Yeah, obviously. But we don't know, obviously, what happens behind closed doors here. Who knows if Freeman was misled by his manager in terms of, say this to Atlanta. They're going to offer you whatever. Like, don't worry about it. And if not, whatever. LA, who cares? Maybe he was, like I said, misled by his manager or something. Because, I mean, to fire your manager after that, too, something must have went drastically.
You think maybe in the spreadsheet he didn't account for that 50% California tax and the $10 a gallon for gas? I mean, that could have something to do with it.
It's possible.
So don't love the way the Dodgers are playing, but I mean, they're not about to get swept by Colorado. I'm sorry. And German Marquez, I mean, just like Kyle Freeland, and like I said, I know that the park plays a lot into it. And of course, this one coming from Coors. But I think Marquez just is not good. And I think Urias, will have a strong start tonight. And I just think the Dodgers make a statement here, 10-2. And Urias will go, 7 innings, 3 earned, 8 strikeouts, getting the W. And Freddie Freeman, Tony. 2 home runs deep to right at Coors Field.
Does he cry?
No.
Speaking of getting swept, we have the Washington Nationals playing the Pittsburgh Pirates over here. Washington working on the sweep tonight. Paulo Espino on the mound, 2.21 ERA. Not pitching terribly. Probably the best pitcher they're going to have, honestly, to kind of show for it. And, of course, we know Pittsburgh. I mean, they're 29-45. Of course, Washington doesn't have a worse record. But, I mean, the Pirates, Brian, There's no way. I think, Nationals probably going to go for the only sweep of the entire year here against the Pirates. I'm actually not sure if they had a sweep already. I don't think. There's no way. Right?
No.
Give me the Washington Nationals here. I want to say the last game was kind of close. Yeah, 3-1, low scoring. I would expect the same, honestly. Give me the Nationals 3-2 tonight.
I like it. I absolutely like it. And just before I get to my final selection, the Nationals playing a little better recently, but still pretty much buried in the standings.
And Juan Soto just not.
Yeah, but I think but then you put him in a heavy lineup. I think you might have different results. But right now, I mean, they're 19 games back, 19 under 500, and a sweep will do absolutely nothing here.
Yeah.
So are they on the brink of a major sell-off that includes Juan Soto, or do you think they want to hold off on that till the offseason?
I would think, in terms of trade deadline stuff, no, hold off till the offseason. Let Soto maybe make a little comeback second half of the season, get his trade value up, and then he becomes a free agent right after next year.
But see, my only counterpoint to that is, I mean, if you're getting him for instead of a season, which you would if he's traded in the offseason, you trade him at the deadline to get him for a season and a half. And I just feel like you mentioned his stock, and I understand, this year hasn't gone as planned, but at the same time, I mean, how much can his stock really change? I think he's highly coveted, and I think he's locked for a $500 million contract.
Yeah, but I still think some teams may be a little hesitant, honestly, a little bit to give up more for him because of the way he's been playing right now. And I do think, I think 1 year and, possible for a re-sign isn't, I think, that big of a hindrance to teams. You get him for 1 full year. That's fine. Plus, I would imagine the Nationals are going to want the whole kitchen sink here for him, and especially with, they need literally everything. The best player right now is Josh Bell. He's like batting 300, I think.
Mm-hmm.
He's been doing really well, but how reliant is he to come in next season and still be putting up these numbers? I don't think so, dude.
You know who I could see coming over to the Mets, possibly be the DH? Nelson Cruz. Would you welcome it?
Absolutely.
Professional
home run hitter. Yeah, dude, let's go.
And yeah, Josh Bell hitting 311 this season, 11 homers, 46 RBIs. Soto only hitting 224, but 63 walks. Some more walks and strikeouts.
Yeah.
And then Keeper Ruiz just not performing up to expectations as well. And just in terms of Soto, I know this is kind of a crazy thing to say, but let's say, they could have your top 6 prospects and 1 player on the active roster that's not Scherzer, DeGrom, or Alonso. Would you do it? And with the guarantee, the extension is agreed upon before the trade is complete.
Top 6 prospects, Brian?
Yeah.
I don't think so, dude.
Really?
We have one of a really high touted catching prospect.
They'll throw in Ruiz.
Cruz.
But then I'm trying to think of who would be the most valuable guy?
Out of the
Nimmo, probably.
McNeil, maybe?
Or McNeil, yeah. So you have to get one of them. You get Cruz, you get Soto.
I guess I would toss Nimmo in there.
And then Ruiz, too.
Yeah, I would do that.
That would be ridiculous.
That would be crazy trade, dude. Dude, because, the Nationals, and especially with Strasburg, seemingly, is he going to fucking pitch again?
What if they said, we'll take one less prospect, but you got to take on his deal?
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, take the chance on him.
Why not, right?
One less prospect, take him. Absolutely. You fucking kidding me, dude? Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's done, by the way.
Yeah, probably.
I don't even think he has 100 innings left in his career, honestly.
It sucks.
It sucks because I always enjoyed watching him pitch.
I know.
I'm glad that he did get that one title in 2019 after missing out in it, his rookie year. But yeah, that's going to be interesting. I just feel like too, Soto in New York, whether it's the Yankees, the Mets, complete star, and just so set up for him.
Yeah, he would love the market.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's something to keep an eye out for. Like you said, they may just want to trade him in the offseason. So that being said, for my last pick, I'm gonna go with the Seattle Mariners tonight. With their series finale against Baltimore last night. Was quite the pitcher's duel. but they did win 2-0. And also, some buzz around the team after, despite, all-star candidate Ty France being on the injured list, as well as former Rookie of the Year Kyle Lewis and Mitch Haniger. They did go out and acquire Carlos Santana. So despite, a record that's 6 games under 500, still making some type of moves here. And I think the front office knows, well, because of that extra wild card spot, you get hot.
Yeah.
I think they have a chance for that. It's going to take a lot. And I just like their team, and I know that they've underperformed, but I just think that I think Santana might be making his debut actually tonight.
Nice.
Chris Flexen, 4.31 ERA going up against Austin Voth, a guy I'm not too familiar with, only 9 innings pitched this year. I just like Seattle. I think at home, they keep it going here. I think some more runs, maybe a Suarez 3-run homer as the Mariners defeat the Orioles 6-2. As Renee says, sayonara.
Sayonara.
Mañana.
Love the pick, dude. I
yeah.
love Seattle. Go Getters.
I feel like I really want to see them end this playoff streak, but I'm actually going to look up the updated standings now. Would you say, even from the 3rd wild card spot, are they 10 back with a 6 game under 500?
You think they're 10 back?
Yeah, what's your guess?
Under 10.
Give me a number, Tony.
8.
8. Okay, so 6.5. Oh, 6.5.
Oh, nice.
So right now, the Rays actually have. So it is kind of what we expected. 4 teams from the American League East in the playoffs right now. So that's kind of interesting. I kind of feel like just because the Mets and Yankees have been doing so well, I kind of have forgotten that there's an extra spot in the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I know. It's awesome, though. It's going to make for some great postseason.
And as of now, your wild card leaders in the National League, Padres, Braves, and Cardinals, but you also have the Giants a game back, the Phillies 3 games back, and then after that, Arizona and Miami both 8 back, Colorado 9 back. So I would expect Philadelphia to kind of be the cutoff point in terms of playoffs. And I wouldn't be surprised if they found their way in the mix. They might need to just trade for somebody, though, with Harper being out. But Schwarber has been on fire.
Dude, with Harper going to be out probably for the rest of the season, right?
But if that is confirmed, then is it, like we said, potentially Mr. Schwarber coming to Flushing?
Dude, I don't know. You think they would really trade with us?
Prospects, I feel like
give them all to Washington already.
Because I understand, like, there's certain guys like, okay, I'm gonna have to play this guy multiple times a year. He's an absolute star. I cannot play him this many times. He's too good.
Yeah.
But Kyle Schwarber's really good, but he's not Juan Soto. So it's like,
no.
Should they really be that hesitant in moving it?
I don't know. Like you said, they're gonna who on. I guess Zach Wheeler may be a good pitcher, right? But Nola's been trash. Who else do they even have that can even pitch against him? That you can be like, oh, like if we're matched up against Kyle Schwarber, we have this pitcher. It doesn't matter.
Suarez has looked great this year.
Yeah.
Ranger Suarez.
Dude, I don't know, man. So it's gonna be tough. They would need to get some pitching in return, but who do we have to give up in terms of pitching? No one.
Yeah. No, that's true. Maybe Trevor Williams could be a throw-in potentially.
Just sprinkle him in there on any trade, dude.
Oh my god,
really sweeten the deal.
Yeah. So, going to be interesting to see kind of what happens. Who stays in contention, who falls out. Who's traded, but a lot of season left to go, and I just really think that the priority going forward for both the Yankees, and the Mets will just be to avoid that first series, because I feel like a best of 3 series, anything could happen. Did they announce, is it a 1-1-1, like in terms of like home, away, home, as for, in that
for
3
the
wild card series?
I think it is 1-1-1. Okay. I could be wrong, but last I heard, which was like a while ago.
Yeah, because I know we're floating something around. I don't know if this was also with college baseball too, but where it was going to be, or maybe I'm just thinking of 2020, but wasn't 2020 where the team with the better record had all 3 games?
Yeah.
Like the Yankees were in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like that format.
That's bullshit.
Yeah. Win one on the road.
Yeah, really.
Then if you can't do it,
then you're not
take
good.
care of business at home, though.
Yeah.
So, that's going to be big for sure. Do you think that the Mets will end up with the best record in the National League?
Wow, the National League.
Right now, 2 wins more than the Dodgers.
Than the Dodgers. Yeah.
That'll be a tight race too, because I think San Diego, once everybody's healthy there.
Oh yeah.
Come
What's
down
the
to
deal with
wire.
Tatis?
I guess he's light, dry swings. I mean, come on, just get out there.
Honestly, dude, it was his hand, right?
Wrist. Wrist is tough, though. That's the thing.
Tough. The whole everything.
A guy
dude.
as young as him with the contract that he has, I mean, they obviously don't want to take any chances. But we all just can't wait to see Fernando Tatis on the field.
Like, geez, dude.
It's
a shame.
So that'll be interesting. But they're kind of saying by the end of next month. It was supposed to be the end of this month originally.
Yeah.
But if we get him at the end of next month, I mean, you think about it, still have all of August and September. So that's 60 games or so for him to play.
And they've still been doing well. So
yeah, absolutely.
Except for Blake Snell. How is Blake Snell? Blake Snell? Anyone?
Oh, his ERA is like 6.
No.
Yeah. Would you take a flyer?
Oh. For what?
Not much, just marginal prospects.
Yeah.
But also though, do you feel like it's more than likely though his ERA this season is over 5 than under 4?
Over 5.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Definitely. But still, again, he did well for Tampa Bay. Maybe the change of scenery to the Mets will do something better. And then I feel like just because, it's for the Mets, it's so worth it to take the chance,
right?
On like a Strasburg, on a Blake Snell, because you know what they could be. And especially with the injuries you're going to be facing, obviously. You can never have enough pitching, dude. Never enough.
And what do you think their moves are going to be? Come deadline time. What do you think they're going to be in the market for? I know you just mentioned pitching, so I'm guessing that's one of them.
Yeah, I think bullpen will definitely be something. Because I think their bullpen. Diaz has been really good. Ottavino has been hit or miss sometimes, but for the most part, good. Same thing with Lugo, hit or miss, most part good. Shreve recently not great. But May's been out for a while now, but I do think a lot of it's also going to depend on how healthy by the trade deadline DeGrom and Scherzer are as well. Because there's no way if DeGrom is still kind of wonky, they're going to need a new starter for sure. So I would say that would be certainly my focus would be bullpen and possibly starting pitching.
Yeah. No, I would say an outfielder probably as well. We'll see. And then just some Yankee news here before we wrap it up. Aroldis Chapman yesterday, scoreless rehab inning, striking out 2 with Scranton Wilkes-Barre. And he is joining the team on Thursday. But this article does say that Holmes will remain the closer. Obviously that's like a no shit situation. But it's gonna be interesting to see kind of what situations they bring him in. And then Gleyber Torres is back in the lineup today. Anthony Rizzo not in the lineup, and we'll give you that. So we got LeMahieu at first, Judge in center, Donaldson at third, Stanton at DH, Torres at second, Hicks in left, IKF at short, Higgy getting the start at catcher, Marwin Gonzalez getting the start in right field. Just kind of curious your thoughts. Like, he's kind of picked it up recently. Obviously, he hit the home run last night, but like the Yankees, you think about the guys that they have in the minors, like Andujar, like Oswaldo Peraza, like Estevan Florial. In your eyes, because we know veteran leadership, obviously they already have a lot, but plays a big role. And them, keeping Hicks, Gallo, and Marwin Gonzalez. What are your thoughts on that? And do you think that might change sooner rather than later? And Matt Carpenter as well. That's another guy that they're keeping on their active roster versus those guys in AAA.
Right. I feel like Gonzalez I like a lot, honestly.
I think his versatility is insane.
Yeah, it really is. It's great to have him around. I think Carpenter could be potentially moved.
Mets?
Maybe, dude.
Yeah.
I think you can get some good pieces for him, obviously, with the way he's been playing. Hicks, I think, is staying where he is.
Brian Cashman's crush.
Yeah,
it's Tyler Wade.
It is. It's crazy.
He's the new Tyler Wade. Not Tyler Wade. Stephen Drew. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
I will say though, Hicks is. From what I've seen, he's been making some nice plays in the outfield. His bat isn't horrible. So whatever.
What's a hair above horrible?
A hair above horrible?
Yeah.
What's he at right now?
I think he's hit like 220. But the point I was just trying to say.
I would say that's close to a hair above horrible. Yeah. But still, I think he had a nice diving catch 2 nights ago. The 3-run home run as well. So, big spots, maybe. But I think Gallo's got to go, dude.
I think. Do you think by the deadline? If it's the same trajectory,
absolutely. Yeah.
And end of the season, Andujar on the active roster or on another team's active roster?
I guess he's out, dude.
I really don't want them to do this, but I know I keep mentioning them, but the Mets again. I mean, would he not be perfect with the Mets?
Would be, dude. Give everyone the Mets. Let's go.
Gotta work out something. I'm trying to think. Maybe give us Diaz. We'll do it.
That's funny.
Who is at this point? I mean, is it still Lugo, the 8th inning guy?
Yeah.
How's his performance been recently?
Recently, not great.
Yeah.
I mean, it is unfortunate because you obviously focus on some of his mistakes, and he did blow a game. I want to say earlier last week. But other than that, it's still pretty solid Lugo, I would say. So,
but I think they'll upgrade that position for sure.
Yeah, and they've been overusing him a little bit too.
So that fatigue,
of course,
factor.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see what happens there. But baseball, we're almost at the halfway point, and I guess just over 2 weeks till All-Star, time with the Derby and the game. So of course, looking forward to that in LA. But yeah, other than that, I mean, we know we had a great episode of Screen Time last night. If anybody missed that, definitely check that out on the YouTube page. But anything else you had, Tony?
I don't think so, dude. What's in your cup over there, huh? You got coffee?
Water.
Water.
Oh, you know what I'm starting to do? Just one last thing here.
Lemon water.
No. I've been doing basically at a minimum 2 coffees about this size. Moving to 1 coffee and just water all day. Because I feel like it's like studies definitely show this too. I mean, more coffee, you're actually more tired.
You're dehydrated. It dehydrates you a lot. And actually, people underestimate like chugging a good water, like it almost wakens you up.
Exactly.
Body's hydrated, happy. Come on, dude.
Yeah, so definitely recommend that to everybody. But I want everybody to enjoy the beautiful weather today. Obviously, the games, the Yankees in just over an hour will get started, and then the Mets game later. But definitely, we appreciate everybody for continuing to follow, to comment, to like, to subscribe. As well as checking out all the archives, on the YouTube page, of course, Tony in Costume, as well as the summer collection. That's a new one.
There we go, baby.
Definitely check that out, downtimetv.com. But thanks again. Everybody enjoy the day, enjoy the games, and we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.